Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's topic is about breastfeeding. I'll be giving you 10 tips based on my breastfeeding experience. Like birthing experience, even breastfeeding experience is unique for every single individual, but it is good to be educated about it, to have a lot of information about breastfeeding before you actually get into it, and before you have to face a lot of curveballs that is thrown at you during your postpartum journey. So let's get started. Tip number one, use a nipple cream or a nipple butter from the 9th month of your pregnancy to keep your nipples soft and supple. So dry nipples, when you start nursing your baby, they crack very easily, and cracked nipples hurt a lot. So it's better to use a nipple cream or a nipple butter from the 9th month of your pregnancy for an easy nursing journey. Tip number two is about what happens after you deliver. So what comes from your milk once you deliver is something called colostrum, which is a thick liquid. It's kind of a light yellowish liquid. So that is very nutritious for your baby. Do not throw it away. Feed that to your baby. It helps the baby cope up with the outside world, and then after a few hours comes your milk, and then you start feeding your baby. Tip number three is how to get a proper latch. So when you are trying to feed your baby, you have to make a nipple sandwich. That is, you have to press your front portion of the breast and point your nipple to the upper jaw of the baby's mouth and insert it in. You do not just insert just the nipple, but also the area around it called areola, because even there are milk ducts which oozes out milk, so your baby is getting a lot of milk. And also, if you just insert your nipple, it is going to crack very easily and it's going to bleed. So that is how you insert the breast when you are feeding the baby. Tip number four. Tip number four is for cracked and sore nipples. So no matter how much you take care, no matter how good the latch is, sometimes because of repeated feeding, initially you still will have cracked and sore nipples. So what should we do? The first thing that you can do is apply your own breast milk. The hind milk, that is, once you're done feeding the baby, you get that thick milk which is called as hind milk. That milk can be applied to your breast and around to your nipples and around your nipples, so that, and it can be let to dry. So that helps hydrate and moisturize the area. The second thing you can do is apply a lanolin based cream. You get a lot of them in the market. Your doctor can prescribe you one. The third thing that you can do is nipple shield, which is like a silicone material shield, which is very thin, which can be just applied, like inserted there, and you can feed the baby. Though it might cause nipple confusion for really small babies, but you can still try that if you have really badly cracked nipples. Tip number five. If you're dealing with inverted nipples and you are tweezing your nipple out to feed your baby every time you're feeding the baby, then there is a lot of chance that you are getting really hurt. So what you can do is you can use a breast pump like 4 or 5 times, so that your nipple protrudes out, and then you can start feeding the baby. That way you're not using your fingers to tweeze out and you do not get hurt at all. So you can use a breast pump instead. Tip number five is for engorged breasts. This is something that happens to every new mom, because the baby feeds well and then goes off to sleep for long hours, and then your breast is still producing milk. So what you can do for engorged breast is, one, you can use a hot water bag and give yourself a hot compress, or you can use hot wet towels and just keep it. If you are not comfortable using a hot water bag, you can keep that. And then after you've done all that, you can pump the milk, because the area around has become softer and the milk oozes out usually by itself. So you can either pump or you can feed your baby if the baby is awake. One more thing that you can do is take hot showers. If you have engorged breast and it's feeling very uncomfortable, then take like really hot showers once or twice in a day, so that like once you've done that, your breasts automatically they start oozing out, and you lose a required amount of milk to feel comfortable. Tip number seven is about breast milk which works on supply and demand basis. So the more is the demand, the more is the supply. So if your baby is not drinking enough milk and you still want to maintain your breast milk supply, then what you can do is, once your baby is done feeding, you can start pumping for at least 15 or 20 minutes. So you're telling your brain that your body needs to produce more milk because there is a demand. So you are creating demand there and you are maintaining your breast milk supply. Tip number 8. Feed your baby without breaking the latch until the baby is done feeding. So if your baby wants more, then you can feed on the other breast, but do not break the latch and shift your baby to the other breast just to maintain supply, because what comes initially in your breast milk is just water. It contains a lot of water, and what comes at the end is the hind milk has a lot of fat and a lot of protein, which is actually necessary for your baby to gain a lot of weight. So you do not break the latch on purpose and change your baby to the other breast, because you're depriving your baby of that really fat thick milk. Tip number 9. Tip number 9 is a very simple tip, that is, you have to drink a lot of water to maintain a good breast milk supply. In a lot of culture, it is followed that new moms should not drink a lot of water because they think that the milk consistency will get really light and watery, which is a myth. That doesn't happen at all. You have to drink a lot of water and a lot of liquids to maintain adequate breast milk supply, so do not deprive yourself of water and liquids. Tip number 10. Tip number 10 is a very important tip, and it's something that is going to affect you in a longer run. That is about posture. So a bad posture while breastfeeding is going to affect you lifetime. It's going to give you lower back pain in general. So what you should do is, you first have to educate yourself about all the breastfeeding positions available, so you can actually try and choose what kind of position is better for you and your baby. Initial days, babies feed a lot and they usually sleep while nursing. So what you should be doing is, use a pillow, use a backrest against the wall or against the backrest of the bed, and comfortably sit and feed your baby. Bring your baby to your breast and do not hunch and take your breast to your baby. So that will be tip number 10. So those are the 10 tips that I have about breastfeeding. These are something that I've personally experienced, and that is why I'm sharing these things with you guys. I am still breastfeeding. I have a 10-month-old baby who's still breastfeeding, and if you guys have any other suggestions or any other tips that had to be added to this video, you can comment in the comment section below. A lot of other viewers might get benefited. Also, if you have any questions regarding breastfeeding, you can ask in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to answer. If you found this video informative, please like, share and subscribe, and share it with your friends who are pregnant and new moms who might need this video badly. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.